guys. So, it's officially winter. We have 3 days of snow coming, and it's getting ready to snow right now. So it's dark, so I had to turn on the lights. Yeah. I don't have any housekeeping. So, on to cards. The affirmation for the day is I move forward fearlessly, trusting that each step I take is perfectly guided. Yeah, I can talk. Really? I move forward fearlessly, trusting that each step I take is perfectly guided. You write that down and I can show you, but of course it's going to be backwards, but you can screenshot it and take a picture from there. And again, for anybody who hasn't seen my videos, affirmations are a great way to combat negative thinking. If you keep thinking about things that are depressing, that are bringing bad things into your life, you can use affirmations like that to combat that particular thing. The way I do affirmations, I've explained it in some of my other videos. Is a little bit different. I let my guides pick the affirmation, and of course that one was picked for you guys for this reading. And that is advice. It is an affirmation without a doubt, but looking at this read, I can tell you that not only do you need to say this affirmation regularly, over and over and over again, but you also need to follow its advice in the future. Don't be afraid. Don't freak out. Just move forward fearlessly, trusting that each step you take is perfectly guided. This is all about faith and trust in God, in the universe, in yourself, in other people, in life, maybe. So the angel card for the day is Archangel Uriel. A tremendous transformation is occurring in your life and in our world. Heaven and earth are uniting. Spirit and matter are working as one. Your heart and mind are balanced, living and loving in harmony. Again, advice. Actually, that's a little bit more of a news flash than than advice. The affirmation was definitely advice. This card is a little bit more of a news flash. Basically, they're saying, the angels are saying, we're here, we hear you, we know that it's okay. Just move forward fearlessly, trusting that each step you take is perfectly guided. And then we have the word of the day is extraordinary. Extraordinary. And I would say that this is about knowing that you are extraordinary, regardless of your faults, regardless of your flaws, regardless of stupid things you may have done in the past or things that you may do in the future. You are extraordinary. And everyone else is as well. There's things that happen that are not very good, and there are a lot of demonic energies out there, but for the most part, you are extraordinary. We're going to leave that there. Just so you know. And I am not going to give you this one. I always do the Black Moon astrology card at the end, so that is there. And I've also, instead of the self-care cards today, I pulled. Um, this is a great deck. This is called the Talisman Oracle, and I do have this one in stock. This one, I'll show you some of the cards. This is safe travel, I think. No, navigation. They're beautiful, beautiful cards, beautiful artwork. This is willpower. This is balanced emotions, which we all need. And this is let go. And yeah, they're really pretty cards. Anyway, we have them in stock. Description box below, you can find a link to our site if you're interested in them. If you're not, that's fine too. Let's see. So the read today, it is unisex, I'm going to say. It's kind of a message for everybody. It's not anybody specific. It is about energies in general. How's that? This is about the key card for this is self-inflicted wounds. Battles. We've been through battles and battles and battles. And we are tired. We are cut. We are bruised. We are beaten. We are still standing. But we have endured some serious wounds, serious exhaustion, serious, we're just really tired, you know? We're just really tired. I think the population, the world in general is very, very tired. We have been working very hard and we're really tired. We've hit our end. And I did pull to clarify it, and it did clarify lack of direction, opposition, aggression, self-doubt, unstable. I've been getting quite a bit lately that everything's going to be very unstable here in the very near future. I think you'll see as we go through this what I mean by unstable. But defeat and travel issues. And that was signified by a card that typically stands for not time to be moving forward, not time to, excel. And then we have budgeting, giving, receiving. It's actually the Six of Pentacles could be, generosity. But in this particular situation, I am not focused on the guy who is being generous. I am focused on the people who are needing the generosity. They're needing the assistance. They're needing the help. Which kind of goes along with the self-inflicted wounds part. Actually goes along with a lot of this. So, I'm not sure where I want to go here. The past is the Five of Cups. And this is somebody who has a lot of regret. They at times it can be seen as somebody who is crying over spilt milk, but I'm not getting the trivial spilt milk part in this reading. This is serious regret. This is their head held hung down. Uh, there are 3 cups that are spilled. They're no longer full. There are 2 cups remaining, but this one has his back turned on those 2 cups. So it's a fairly pessimistic kind of feel to it. You know, not necessarily beaten, but definitely pessimistic. All of this, past, the situation, the challenge. The challenge is the 6 of Pentacles, which is, and these guys are definitely, normally when I pull this card, I focus a lot more on him, uh, and and I'm very focused on these guys today. So I'm going to say that the challenge is the poor. The poor. The poor. Yeah. Uh, the subconscious or the underlying of this, the thing that's on, that people are thinking about but they're not talking about, I guess, would be the Queen of Wands in reverse. The Queen of Wands in reverse stands typically for somebody who, she would be like a black witch. She would be somebody who is unmotivated, doesn't do anything. If she is doing something, she's casting spells, black magic type spells on unsuspecting victims. She is very self centered, very clueless, very. She kind of like, she's like, the Queen of Wands in the upright position is a woman who has beauty, brains. She is very accomplished. She's very desired. She's, that kind of thing, that kind of energy, beautiful, popular. This is the complete opposite. This is not beautiful, not popular, not nice, not always acting in the best interest of anybody except for maybe herself. And the clarifying card that I pulled on that was ambition, competition, cutthroat, conflict, win at all costs, sneakiness, feeling defeated, discord, isolation from allies, fighting back, surrender, and resentment. And this is actually a big fat no card as well. So that kind of gives you an idea of the underlying feeling. So the situation, what most people are aware of is the self-inflicted wounds and the need to budget or balance finances, possibly time, possibly anything else. Budgeting is a very big thing, and the challenges with budgeting are getting much bigger. And the intention, I am not clear on. I'm really not. There's it, it's the 3 of Pentacles, which to me shows that there was no teamwork or planning. Um, but in the context of this reading, I haven't decided exactly how that falls into place. Because the rest of the reading kind of does, I don't know. I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm going to come back to that. and maybe I'll dissect it a little bit more and see if I can figure out what exactly it's talking about, because I really do not know. Um, I pulled a card to clarify, and it said authority, truth, intellectual power, logic, structure, moral ethics, um, fair, clarity of mind. So some energy out there is attempting to be fair, I guess, or maybe there's a structure that is supposed to be fair, and this intention card is showing that there was no planning for fairness, or no planning for, you know what I mean? Like it's actually kind of giving me an intent of they really weren't planning on anything being ethical or moral or that's what I believe it is. But like I said, I will take a look at it towards the end and see if I can dig any more information out. But I do believe that that's what it's saying. In the future, we have lying, cheating, and stealing. And this is in the very near future. And I'm not going to expand on that anymore because it's pretty self explanatory. In the what to do category, this is a lot of depression. I'm going to say a lot of depression. This is coming up as the Queen of Cups, but I don't believe that in this position it is about a female or a person. I think it is about an emotional or a feeling. I think this is, whether you're a male or a female, it does not matter. This is how you, as a collective, may feel over the next day or two, maybe three. Uh, I'm not going to put a time limit on it because emotions are really hard to, uh, judge, like how long ago. Like, anyway, the clarifying card shows that it's panic, waiting, slow pace, slowing down, delays, impatience, impulse, obstacles, missed chances, and a rest period. So it's kind of hard to be optimistic when you're waiting for some information or some news or something to happen, that's kind of what I feel like this is. I feel like the collective is going to be waiting for a bit and possibly be a little depressed and feeling icky over this waiting period. And then in the environment, I showed that it is not a good financial partnership. Whatever it is, I'm really not sure. I don't know if that's a personal relationship, if that's, in general, it's collective reading, so it encompasses large amounts of people. Possibly this reading might encompass more than just a large group of people. Obviously, there's going to be people that don't feel like, they're in a bad financial situation because not everybody feels the same all the time as other people. But this is giving a lot of financial strife. This is showing that there is a lot of people who are at their wits' end with finances, with money. And that is a very big thing that's on people's minds right now. Anyway, the greatest hopes and fears is that there will be no celebration, that there will be no happiness, no, uh, and obviously that's a fear. It will pick up, when you do it as a hope and a fear, it will pick up the strongest feeling that is going on. Oh, the 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 environment. This is the environment, which is the Ten of Pentacles in reverse, which is a bad financial situation. And when I pulled the clarifier for this card, it was care, good partner, calmness, friendship, emotional control, diplomacy, stability, balance, generosity, and wisdom. So, and I believe that came out as the King of Cups. And I believe that is what the collective is looking for. The collective is looking for that person. That person who has a big heart, who cares deeply about people or about them. You know, like in a relationship situation, it would be somebody who really cares about the person that they're with, and they, you know, care about their happiness. This, I think, is a little bit bigger. I think it's a little bit more of a collective kind of thing, because the key or the outcome came up as the King of Cups. And that this is again a guy who is very generous, very giving, very loving, very caring, very concerned with the welfare and the needs of others, um, that kind of thing. But on the clarification card, it says inner conflict, tension, um, no success, instability, home conflict, breakdowns with friends, and leaving home. So that is very similar to the read that I did yesterday, for anybody who's seen it. And if you haven't seen it, I will link it up on the end of the video, so you can just click on the link and go to it. But this is not a timeless reading. Just for anybody who is questioning, I think this is very specific to the time that we're in right now. I think if you see this reading 6 months from now, it may resonate for somebody, but it's not a timeless reading. It's very much a today reading. When I pulled the with that sacred, whatever it is, sacred knowledge card, what I got was leadership. And this reminded me of yesterday. It was, or was it the day before maybe? Sorry. I think I took yesterday off because I was really tired. I'm really tired. Anyway, I'm pretty sure that I pulled leadership in the one the day before yesterday in the what to do category. And again today it is stating that the key to a lot of this stuff that's going on that we're facing right now is leadership. And I've been talking about this for probably a year and a half, that leadership is really important. If you go to my spiritual insight videos, I have a lot on divine masculine or masculine energies, and that does not mean that you have to be a man or a or that it is specifically, focusing on men, it is a masculine energy. We all have masculine and feminine energies within. We all work on our own masculine and feminine energies. In some cases, it will, show you male as in masculine, but very, very rarely, very rarely. I mean, if somebody's talking about masculine energies and the only person that's available to do the job is a feminine, then that feminine needs to build her masculine energies. She has the reserve, she has the know-how, and she can do it. It may not be suitable for her. Like I can put myself in masculine energy like boom, only because I've had to my entire life. I have always been in a position where I have had to lead with my own masculine energy. So, uh, feminine energy was a little harder for me to pull from. Now, my feminine energy, I think, dominates more than my masculine. But at any given time, I can pull my masculine energy out and get going and get the job done if I need to. I prefer to be in feminine energy. That's my thing. But that is just to clarify that a leader or masculine does not mean male. It means somebody who has masculine qualities, leadership qualities. And I'm going to read you this card just because it's not part of the spread. Um, it's outside of it, and it's kind of short, but you have been placed in a situation where you have to take the lead. This newfound responsibility can be frightening, but it offers you an opportunity to see your vision come to life. Set boundaries and focus on the bigger picture. You are able to brighten up the spirit of those around you, and you see their potential. You have the confidence, the decisiveness, the empathy, and the insight to inspire others. In the course of your life, you have gained valuable experience and respect, and now it's your chance to offer guidance. Ego battles are no match for you. You have mastered self-discipline and creative humor and have let go of the need to micromanage the small stuff. Uh, and the uh, you can use this energy like this. This talisman oracle is really cool because it will give you the power that goes with it. And it tells you to, use this card whenever you need help believing in your leadership skills. You can also use it when you are experiencing difficulties as a parent or as a head of a social group or an organization. Envision the stamina of the tiger and channel his firm but gentle spirit. Take a few deliberate steps ahead and allow the doubts to dissolve. And the affirmation on that is I offer guidance. Leadership is going to be extremely important. It has been important, which was why I got off on this tangent. I've been talking about leadership and masculine energies and all that for probably a year and a half, and telling people that it's time to step up. It is time to get your what together to let go of all the bad habits and the rebellious type activities. Let go of the drama, let go of all the pettiness, and get to work. That is still factual today, and then the next week, I think people are going to see that it is vital. Vital. Leadership of all forms right now is really important. And everybody needs to really focus on leadership and focus on being the best they can possibly be at everything, at literally everything. The Black Moon Astrology card, for those that don't know, this is Susan Shepard. This is the book. This is what it looks like. I do sell these. I have some in stock. Details are down below. I love these cards. I pull one card every day that kind of looks at the theme of the reading as a general. And today it is Chiron, which is healing. And I know because I just looked at my chart because I was kind of interested in something that was going on. I think it was, it was something going on in the 12th house. It was something going on in Aries. Anyway, or maybe it was 6th house. Yeah, it was something going on in the 6th house. I think it was moon. Oh, did we have anyway, doesn't really matter. The point is, Chiron came up in my looking at everything while I was looking at everything. And I was thinking about how prominent Chiron has been in this last year specifically. And for everybody. And Chiron is the wounded healer. The wound is the place where the light enters you. Rumi, Rumi, stated that. The wound is the place where the light enters you. Healing must take place before you are able to deal with your matter. Chiron is not a planet, but a comet with a unique orbit that travels through the entire zodiac over approximately 51 years. So it takes 51 years for it to go all the way through all the signs. So let's see, that means that it's back at the beginning for me now. Chiron is a Greek word for man-horse. In myth, Chiron, the centaur, so it's a lot like Sagittarius, half man, half horse. The wisest of all creatures was the wounded healer and the self-enlightened shaman. He was wounded in the flank and was almost crippled, but was rehabilitated from his wound and sickness to pursue the healing arts through the guidance of Apollo, god of light. For astrologers, Chiron has special purpose as a bridge between the inner and the outer planets, a bridge between the animal and the human, and the wisdom that lies in both life forms. In the chart, Chiron's place shows the transition linking the mundane to the extraordinary. This heavenly body takes us on a journey through our darkness, where we pass through to the next side with strengths we did not realize we had until we passed through that black place. Oh, excuse me. Chiron, you know why I'm yawning? Because it's getting dark and it's getting ready to snow and I'm ready for a nap. So bad. In the chart, let's see. No, I already did that. Chiron has a relationship to the true astrological signs of Virgo, health and physical well-being, and Sagittarius, consciousness and spiritual well-being. Chiron lords over matters of health, illness, and disease, and especially how they relate to our personal journey through life. One must see darkness before there is light. One must experience sickness before there is lasting health. Chiron also represents resurrection, so has some relationship to the Christ figure as the wounded healer. This is a card of great transformation. Therefore, in many ways, you are rising from the swamps. Chiron's energy says that once we are able to heal ourselves, we can also take this gift or wound and learn how to restore others. We can mend our wounds when we embrace, process, and understand the gift of illness or dysfunction. Chiron is also an expert in alchemy, which gives us the ability to transform the mundane into the marvelous or the hideous into the marvelous. And I'm saying this because energy is energy. So if there is a traumatic or difficult thing that is happening in your life and you are struggling to make it through, remember that energy, you can use that energy. That bad energy doesn't go anywhere. It's no different than any other energy, but you can transmute it. You can work through it mentally, change it into a positive thing rather than a painful negative thing. More on that later. When this card, oh, uh, Chiron is a blending of the energies of Saturn and Uranus, meaning just don't throw out the old. There is wisdom there, but you should also embrace the bold and the new. In keeping with this, Chiron also governs quantum physics, medicine, and astrology. When this card turns up in a reading, it can indicate health matters or that issues of a medical nature may be of concern. This matter may have to do with health concerns, most especially any emotional healing that is needed. At this time, you may find yourself visiting or having interactions with health facilities or any place that has to do with the healing of the body, mind, or spirit. This is also a time of teaching and learning, so schools may figure in this matter. Certain sorrows and deep past of the deep past may be surfacing, and be careful of repeating old patterns. These will tend to resurface unless faced directly, and if not faced, the pain will continue. This is an awakening time where we can resolve things. When you are feeling this, defeated, sad, depressed, like you want to give up, like you don't matter, like nothing you do matters. You get into kind of a, pity, self-pitying kind of feeling or a depressed feeling. That is a wound. And it doesn't matter what the cause of the wound is. I mean, it does matter. You need to find out what the wound is, and you need to heal that wound. But it doesn't matter what triggered it. I guess that's what I'm saying. It doesn't matter what triggered it. What you need to do is go find it, go find the original wound and work on that wound. And it can be painful. I'm not going to say that it's easy, because it's not in any way, shape, or form easy. And that's why a lot of people refuse to do any kind of healing, because they don't want to look at their past. They don't want to look at the things that people did to them. They don't want to look at the things that they did to other people. They don't want to, they don't, they just don't want to. They avoid it at all costs. And unfortunately, doing that makes it worse. Uh, it makes people act unnormal. uh, they act out, or they get very quiet, and they are sullen and sullen, and they ruminate over that particular thing, and maybe they try to deal with it, but they're really not sure what caused it or where the problem was. If you put yourself in silence and you look, uh, look into your past and things that are like situations that are happening right now, you'll find out where that wound is. If you can't find out where that wound is, I would say talk to somebody who works in the healing arts, spiritually inclined specifically, even if it is just a tarot reader, not just a tarot reader. There's some very wonderful tarot readers out there. That's not what I meant. But somebody who, can speak to spirit and who is focused on healing arts would be ideal to help you dig up this issue, dig up where the issue started, where the wound started. And a lot of times, what happens with wounds is it happens, like early on in childhood, and then it gets dinged and dinged and dinged and dinged. And depending on what stage you are in life, it could be a pretty big wound, or it could be a really traumatic event trying to remove that wound. Um, right now, and I'll tell you, this is kind of a personal thing, but anybody else experiencing this, and I'm sure there's a lot of you that are, Chiron is transiting my personal 12th house. My 12th house is intercepted, and it's like 60 degrees. So it takes a long time for a planet to actually get through my 12th or my 6th house. Anyway, my point is that the 12th house is the subconscious. And it is also the house of hidden enemies and various other things. And with Chiron transiting that, I am doing healing on an extremely deep level. I am healing wounds from early childhood. I am healing wounds from past lives. I am healing wounds from, uh, wounds that I didn't even know I had. Seriously. I mean, I have healed a large number of wounds. I don't know that I actually even have any wounds left, but who knows? You think you get past it and all the wounds are fine, and you can move on, and then all of a sudden you're just going along and boom! There's another one. Oh, gee, I better deal with that one. I am aggressive with wounds. If there's a wound, I want it out, and I want it out now. I don't want to hide. I don't want to avoid it. And I have never been that way. If I have ever done that with a particular wound out of fear, possibly. But the mass majority of my life, I have been very cavalier in facing my wounds and healing them. And as I say that, I can think of like one time where there was a wound that I said, nope, nope, I'm not dealing with that one. But eventually I had to, bring myself out and deal with that wound. Anyway, my point is, if you cannot figure out what those early wounds were, or what those wounds from your past life were, or something along those lines, then you'll probably need somebody, spiritually speaking, a reader, or somebody who works with healing energies, to help you with a direction and to pull that out. And of course, you're going to want somebody that you trust, that is compassionate, that isn't going to, that's going to be very gentle with you, because healing is a difficult thing to do. And so you want somebody that's been through it and they know. And yeah. Anyway, it's also a time of teaching and learning, so schools may figure in. Certain sorrows of the deep past may be surfacing. The symbol of Chiron is a key, and the card says you have the key to open the right door at your asking. To do this, you will have to work with the wounded and the downtrodden in some way. So if this is true, it is now time to save yourself and others. A bridge between the tangible and the intangible. Shamanism. Facing yourself. Journeys. The higher mind. Religious ideas. Heeding the call. Deep listening. Being bold. A journey through darkness. Spiritual growth after abandonment. A difficult or painful passage. Deep inner healing. Therapy. Having to seek medical aid quickly and unexpectedly. Medical tests. Homeopathic medicine. Chiropractors. Issues with spine, bones, and also internal organs. The need to heal or be healed. A wound of trust. Accidents, falls, someone getting hurt, feeling the pain of others. And not to interrupt this, but globally, uh, feeling the pain of others. It is really important right now, if you are empathic, which I think all human beings have the ability to be empathic. There are people, with disorders or mental issues that are incapable. That like they're not born with an empathic gene, or they have mental issues like narcissistic personality disorder is one that is a key component to that disorder, is a lack of empathy for others. And there are many different types of narcissistic type personality disorders, just so you know. People think that there is one, but there's others. Covert narcissism would be one that somebody appears to be very sweet, nice, and kind and gentle, and they're really horrible, evil, mean people. And they've just learned how to disguise their evil with something that appears to look like empathy. Empathy is determined by, or defined as, being able to feel other people's pain or feel for other people. Narcissistic personality disorder they don't really give a rat's patootie about your pain or your problems. They only care about their own. And that's a big issue. But anyway, coverts can make you believe that they care, but they don't really care. Let's see. Healing, teaching others, empathy, kindness, duty, responsibility, unnecessary worry, what you do as a routine, tedium, job changes in connection with self-healing, publishing in the areas of alternative health or tradition, medicine, home remedies, or learning about health benefits through the natural world, writing, being out in nature, the colors green and brown, survival. The corresponding tarot card to this particular card for Chiron is the Hanged Man. The key ideas are healing process, contemplation, medicine, illness, grief, and redemption. So, healing is going to be it has been, healing has always been important. Okay, it's always been important. I mean, I just happen to come from background of where I learned about healing at a very young age. I don't know. I possibly it was a gift I was born with, and you know, I've spent a lot of time healing, and I'm still spending time healing. But I have a pretty good grasp on the healing arts, I think, now. But if you can feel others' pain, uh, you are going to want to learn, and probably meditation is the best way to do this. But you're probably going to want to learn how to distinguish when you are feeling another person or feeling your own stuff. And that sounds really kind of crazy, but it is a big thing for an empathic person. Empaths who are not trained uh, or don't have that spiritual background, they don't realize that they are picking up energy from other people. On women, I will say that the sacral chakra is a big key, and there is a tendency for women to gain weight in that area, which is between the belly button and the lower extremities, um, in an effort to protect the sacral chakra. This happens naturally. Um, it's a protective mechanism within ourselves. But women, you'll notice that women typically are more empathetic than men. But men have empathy as well. Women will, at a younger age, start gaining weight there pretty easily, especially if they're not realizing that they are collecting energy from other people. They're picking it up and they're actually storing it, is what's happening. And usually those are karmic relationships. Those are people who have issues that need healing, that it's kind of like a whole spiritual dynamic. But anyway, my point is, if you are empathic, you are picking up other people's thoughts, feelings, um, psychosis. You're picking up everything that they are feeling. You are processing, or you're feeling them. You may not be processing them, and you may not know how to let go of it, or what to do to get rid of it, or what to do to protect yourself. This is going to become more important over the next, I don't know, 6 months, maybe a year. I don't know. I'm going to say 6 months for sure. Because there's going to be a lot of people who just feel really bad, just feel really down, and really need need help, need help. And the more that you're around people who need help and you don't know how to help them, or you can actually be affected by those feelings, by that down state or that depressed state. You will actually be affected if somebody in your family feels that way. Um, it's hard. So, everybody essentially needs to learn about energies and leadership and take a leadership role wherever they possibly can. Positive thinking and affirmations is going to be very, very important. Very important. And laughing and having fun despite uh, what's going on around you is going to be very important. Don't take life too seriously, I guess. And it's not going to be easy. There's going to be a lot of seriousness in life. So, um, healing. Focus on healing. Focus on healing your old wounds. Focus on the wounds that you have now. Focus on dealing with the emotions that you feel now. Focus on the emotions you're going to feel next week. Focus on healing. Focus on um, healing. And if you have healing experience, you have an interest in healing arts, you're going to want to step forward as a leader and help people to heal their wounds and feel better. It's going to be something that's really going to be needed. Anyway, it's kind of a bummer read, right? But it's the times that we're in. Don't get too crazy, guys. Think positive, be happy, be gratitude. Gratitude is probably one of the biggest things that you can do right now. Make sure that you are paying attention to all the things that you do have and all of the things that make you happy or feel safe or feel cared for. Acknowledge it. Like, today's my cooking day. I cook like stuff ahead so I don't have to cook during the week, like, things that I want to have on hand. And I cook for my dog, and I cook everything. And while I'm cooking, that's kind of a ritual. I think about how grateful I am to have the ingredients to make this food, or the love to put into it, or the pans to make the food, or the water to add to the pan. Think about it. I mean, there's countries, right, where they have to walk 50 feet, half a mile, just to get water, just to be able to cook. And I happen to live in a place where I can just turn around and turn the faucet on and have water to cook. And to me, that is something that you need to be grateful for. I think everybody should be grateful for that, along with being grateful for having all the ingredients, because if you run out of ingredients, you have to go to the store. Maybe you can't afford to buy the ingredients. So being grateful for the ingredients to create the food is also a very good thing. There's a lot of things to be grateful for. How about being grateful to having a kitchen? There's a lot of people that don't have kitchens. Probably more now than has ever been in this country, sadly and pathetically. But being grateful for having a kitchen, being grateful for having a place to store your food, you know, there's all kinds of things you can do to keep a positive mindset and not become a burden on other people and heal your wounds all at the same time. Love and blessings. I hope everybody does really well, stays happy, stays positive, and heals.